Hello from Plan TV News. I hope you've all enjoyed your lunch. Thank you for being with us today. This is Nadine, and I'll be your news anchor for the day. First, we have the segment, What's New at the Clubhouse?
Our clubhouse got invited to San Antonio to deliver a speech. It was a long drive down there and a long drive back, and we appreciate them doing it.
Next, we have Health Tip of the Week. Let's see what Plan TV's Health Tip team have for us today.
Hi everyone, this is Ricky with Plan TV News' Health Tip of the Day. It's easy and understandable to roll your eyes when someone offers a miracle cure for your anxiety, but there are actually day-to-day changes you can make that can help you manage your anxiety. To find out some small changes other people made that made a significant difference in their life with anxiety, pay attention to the following ideas. The first idea is spending less time on social media and limiting screen time. Randy D. wrote that this idea helped him. Temporary Facebook breaks by uninstalling the app. I can still browse through the mobile site, but it's more convenient and makes it less likely to spend hours on there. Jen S. wrote, I limit my social media. It seemed my anxiety would rise every time I went on because I was comparing my life to everyone's highlight reel, and it was doing a number on my self-esteem. The last thing is practicing acceptance. Kathy F. wrote, accepting this is a part of who I am. It allows me to step back when needed, totally guilt-free. Also, letting go of how it makes others feel guilt-free. It doesn't change the level of anxiety. It only takes away the guilt of having it. And this is Ricky signing off with Plan TV News. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bree, and I have a mental health joke of the day for you. They called me mad, and I called them mad, and damn, they outvoted me. Thank you and goodbye. Watch my animations, please.
Now we have the segment, Getting to Know You. It's a way for us to learn more about the people that we work with every day here at Plan.
Hi, this is Steve with Getting to Know You, and today we have, introduce yourself please.
Daniel,
Our staff member, and I'm thanking him for being on our show today. Daniel, the first question always is, where are you from?
originally I'm from, it depends on how far back you go. I was born in Texas, Harlingen, Texas, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was almost Mexican, but then we moved when I was 3 weeks old to Tennessee, and that's where I spent most of my time growing up. So normally if you ask me where I'm from, I'll say Seymour, Tennessee, or Knoxville, Tennessee. But technically I go all the way back to Harlingen, Texas.
Well, what age were you when you came back to Texas?
2011, so I was in my 20s, 26 or so, I don't know.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
already.
so.
Where'd you go to college?
College was in Tennessee. It was Carson Newman University. Well, Carson Newman College when I was there, but it was a nice little, that's all that was in that town. It was like Jefferson City, Tennessee, Carson Newman College. That's it.
So it was a fun town, fun college?
Yeah. It was that was all there was. So it was just college kids mostly.
Well, I know you're studying for graduate school now, but what was your undergrad in?
English, specifically creative writing. So that's why I love writing, because that's been my go-to, and then going to seminary, I still used a lot of the writing, but yeah, it's always been writing for me, so.
But how did you come to Plan?
So I was at Starbucks in 2019, and that wasn't cutting it, obviously. It's a great job, but it's really hard to raise two kids on Starbucks. So the money, not the coffee. They didn't have coffee, but but yeah, I was looking for other things. I actually was using Jewish Family Service and their career services to try and beef up my resume and look for jobs. And in working with Marlene over at JFS, she was in career services at the time. She actually, one day after we made my resume, she was like, you know what, there's a job that you might really like. And she connected me with Ruth, and I talked with Ruth, and she told me about the job, and I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. So I came for the interview. You know how we do the interviews, all the members ask questions and everything, but it was a Friday, and I remember I stayed, I didn't have anything going on that day, so I just stayed the whole day, and then there was movie to meal that night, and I stayed for that too. So
Oh.
it was technically my first day. It was my.
Okay. Well, then, we always want to ask our members, what are your goals here at Plan? But as a staff member, what are your goals here at Plan?
Man, that's a good question. There's been so much I know over this year where I've been trying to really just help everyone nail down what our systems are. So, because one of the things I think, generally speaking, I think the clearer our systems are here, the more structure and order we'll feel. Like we'll just feel more organized and not as scattered, and that's kind of hard to do with.
Well, I think it's a great idea because often people aren't really clear on what the goal is of what we're doing.
Yeah, and so clarity in general, or more structure, the more we can have that sort of feeling of, and there's still a lot of ways that we as a clubhouse together can work to get there, but that's one of the things that I think, like, the more we develop our systems and have clear ways of doing things, I think the better everyone will feel, us as staff included, because there's something about the more the systems we have that are clear, the more y'all as members can take ownership, and we can just help you step into those things instead of having to walk you through every step of the way, which is not, the ideal anyway. Like, I think y'all want more of that autonomy, right? So
Right, and also by knowing what exactly going to be doing, it lowers anxiety. And I know that about 80% of us here have anxiety bothering us.
staff included. I'm one. I won't speak for the rest of the staff, but anxiety is one of in my cocktail. So
I'm beginning to find that it's actually a common denominator in the human condition. At my gym, there's this one clerk that I always just chatted with as I checked in and out, and I found out that he's got pretty severe anxiety. He told me that he isolates at home, he feels uncomfortable in large groups, and I was surprised because he looks like a very active, fit, kind of person.
Well, that's what's funny. But when I started here, 2019, mental health felt much more foreign in the circles everywhere. But I think COVID changed that a lot, because then everybody got stressed out, and at least anxiety-wise and some depression-wise,
Oh yeah.
I feel like COVID put mental illness more on the map, because everybody started realizing, oh my gosh, this is taking its toll on me, not physically but mentally, just what we went through. So,
Oh yeah. Depression was way up. All
Yeah.
the therapists are booked to the gills.
Yeah. So in some ways, I mean, I don't think we should have had a pandemic to have to convince the world that, hey, mental illness is a thing. But I think it did put it more in the public eye of people realizing, oh yeah, no, this is a serious thing that makes it really hard to just function. So I think it's interesting to look at before COVID, after COVID, and see how I don't know, in general, I feel like people are more open to the idea, at least, of, oh yeah, no, mental illness, that can be really hard.
It was one of the benefits of COVID. Something that came out of that
Something.
horrible time.
It helped us decrease stigma. So.
Now, the favorite part of the show for many of us is when we ask our person for one secret that nobody else at Plan knows about them.
Now this is interesting, because I was thinking about this.
He's starting to blush, folks.
I was thinking about this. There's certain things that came to mind automatically, but I'm pretty sure I've shared them all. One, I was a clown at one point. I don't know if you knew that, but I'd done clowning, but I've shared that before.
Well, I knew you were a performer.
Yeah. And so I've been in theater and stuff like that, but clowning was something I did with my church, so I had a clown persona for a little while. There's the other one about, I've been to Spain on a cruise, but we know that from the cruise. So I was trying to think, what have I not shared?
Yeah?
I think I've shared this with some, but it's not very widely known, that I am also maybe a closet songwriter.
Really?
Yeah. So I
Music
have
or lyrics?
mostly lyrics. I've done some music. I actually in college, I had a CD that I made, and I think a few people have heard one or two songs from that. But songwriting recently is something I've been wanting to get back into, and I don't know that I would ever perform. I mean, I probably could, but I'm not much of I can sing. I don't know that anybody would pay to hear me, but but I do enjoy writing songs, coming up with melodies, if you see me driving home sometimes on the highway, and I don't know you're there, you would probably see me singing at the top of my lungs, because that's what I do in the car. So, and I pay attention. I'm a safe driver, but I also enjoy singing.
And what kind of songs do you write? Hard rock, love ballads, spiritual, uplifting songs?
A little of everything. Most of the songs I wrote in college were silly. Like the one that I'll have to share with everybody sometime is The River of Denial, which is talking about the river, the Nile, but also about like, basically it's all about this guy who doesn't believe rivers exist. And so he's going through the song and talking about, like, what about this river? What about this river? And he was just like, no, I don't believe. So anyway, it's about the Nile, I guess, but really it's just a silly song about rivers. So there's stuff like that. But I have written, like, I did a Christmas album in college too.
Yeah.
I've done some, like, spiritual type songs. I've done the songs, a lot of what I've been writing recently in the past year or so, some love songs for that chapter I was in, but also some, I don't know, more raw songs. Like, that's where I feel like I'm beginning to get into, like, the really, you know, deep songwriting years, where, you know, where you hear a songwriter talk about, like, or somebody who sings about, like, yeah, no, I went through this period of time where I, like, it just started flowing, and I had all these. I'm not there yet, but I feel like I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So there's just like certain songs that'll come to mind, or lyrics or something, and I'm like, that would make an amazing song, but I haven't written it yet. So someday. But I'm hoping, you know, into this year, into next year, I'm hoping to start like playing more with that. Like, I want to learn the ukulele. I don't know it yet, but that sound with the songs I'm writing, I think would work really well. And
so have you heard Somewhere Over the Rainbow with the Hawaiian singer and the ukulele?
Oh, I love that. And it comes on pretty much every Pandora station when you're on Pandora. Like, that always goes back to that song. But it's such a good song. Like, I always let it play.
He does such a great job. He does better than Judy Garland with it.
Because it's such a happy sound, the ukulele, but it's also such a, like, I don't know, charming and uplifting sound. Like, it's almost nostalgic. I don't know. It's like, I've never been to Hawaii, but it makes me feel like I've been there. So.
Well, that's a good feeling to have.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, is there anything you'd like to say in closing to the Plan community?
I guess in closing, I would just say, keep looking for ways to make your clubhouse better and better, because it's great as it is. But I think I'm always amazed at how, like, the ideas we come up with and the things we think of that just make it even better than ever. And so we're good where we are, but keep looking for ways to make it even better. So,
well, that's a very good tip, and thank you again, Dan. And this is Steve signing off for Getting to Know You.
yeah, thank you.
Finally, we will be highlighting the upcoming events here at our clubhouse, and there are many.
Hello, I'm Lisa, and this is upcoming events. On Tuesday the 14th, we've got our house call at 1 p.m. where we do the daily agenda, and we answer questions about upcoming events. We have Your Voice on Wednesday at 12:45, and Sharon Zuber will be doing Your Voice and telling her story. On Thursday, we have our game night rally from 4:30 to, it doesn't say, from 4:30 onward. And we'll be doing ping pong and board games, and it should be a fun night. So come on out Thursday the 16th and stay for the game night. On Saturday the 18th, we have supper club at 5 p.m. at Faux Bowl at Beltline and Montfort. And don't forget our Happy Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day from noon to 2. It's a potluck. Bring your own. Yes, sign up for coming on the big board and put down what you're bringing for your potluck. and Black Friday were closed. Bye-bye. Thank you. It's been Karen.
Well, that's it for the broadcast today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Nadine signing off until next week. Have a great afternoon.